who now are the good cop, and I have to be like, find a job. Did you see what he did there?
No, that was good advice though, especially because I've been trying. Recently, I've been very much trying to rush things, and I think that I do need to spend a lot more time slowing down.
Hello, namaste. Auntie Zarna here with the Zarna Garg Family Podcast. So excited to have you all here. All 5 Gargs are in the house, ready to take your questions, answer your questions, and get right into it. Let me start by introducing my youngest, my 7th grader, Veer Garg, my freshman in college son, Bridge Garg, my senior in college daughter, Zoya Garg, and my husband of 25 years, Wall Street veterans, Shalabh Garg. We are so excited for this episode, this very special episode that you are going to find most unpredictable because even I don't know what's going to happen. This episode is Bridge Asks. My 18-year-old son who just started college is going to have a whole episode of asking whatever question he has on his mind to the rest of us. And I am sure there are going to be some shockers about his dad.
And can we deny to answer or plead the fifth?
No.
Yes.
Yeah,
can we plead the fifth?
Of course,
Yes.
yes. You don't have to answer every question.
Okay,
Yeah, of course.
take it away, Bridge.
Okay. So I'm going to start with a light one, and then we're going to get deeper and deeper as the episode goes across, because I have some good questions.
Okay.
Okay, first, everyone answers every question. So first question, if you could have dinner, starting over there, with any historical figure of all time, or a live figure, who would it be and
So
why?
dead or alive?
Yeah.
And one person?
Like a celebrity of some kind,
It
right?
could be anything.
Anything. One
Doesn't
person?
have to be a celebrity. One person.
I guess I would pick Winston Churchill.
Why?
I used to really like his.
That's such a random answer.
I really liked his approach to resolving the Second World War.
But he was so mean to us.
He was so
How was he
horrible to
mean to
brown
us?
people. He was actually so racist.
I thought he was a great leader,
pretty
and
sure
also I
he's-
saw this recent film that made a real impact on me, where he made this amazing speech in the lower house, and how he compelled everyone to continue to fight Hitler as opposed to surrender to him.
Oh.
Okay, well.
Okay, well.
That was
yeah.
so...
Because I don't know if that's true, I can't really say anything. So, all right. You want to go next?
Yeah, I'm ready. I wish I could have met one of Mom's parents.
Oh, yeah.
I think Mom feels like a mythological creature to me. I think most of the world is so confused how she emerged and how she is the way she is. And even though I grew up with her and I was born, she's my mom, I'm still also really confused and I'm looking for answers. And I would have loved to have met one of Mom's parents.
Okay, I get it. I mean, I hope you didn't meet my dad because he didn't really like me, but that's a whole
You
another
did meet
story.
my parents, if that's worth something.
Yeah, you can meet her. Yeah, you can meet his parents and get a whole list of all the things that I am not. I would, if I could, love to meet Oprah and talk to her about how she built her business and all the things she did strategically. Not her as a celebrity, but strategy behind it. It's a tie between Oprah Winfrey and Kris Jenner. They are both heroic characters to me. Oprah, just because of...
Kris Jenner is the mom?
Kris is the mom.
So you want to... Yeah, I understand.
I want to meet the people who built what they built. Like the fact that Kris became the manager of her kids' lives and businesses and built things that each kid is now running and became the brains of the operation is really exciting as a businesswoman for me. And Oprah's trajectory just is so unmatched. I don't know if this will ever be equaled again in life. But knowing that they did it and how they did it it's important to me, and I would love anything. If you're listening, if you're watching, and you want to have coffee with me or have the ability to make it happen, I have less interest in their celebrity, but tremendous interest in their business acumen. And I would love to learn.
Okay. If I could have dinner with one person, I'd have dinner with... I don't know.
I can make some suggestions. Mr. Beast.
Not like...
No,
Like,
why?
of course,
He's-
Mr. Beast is cool, but like...
yeah, but he's built some. It's not
He
just
has,
cool.
yeah.
Like I'm just thinking of the people you controversially like Elon Musk.
Yeah, I do like Elon Musk.
Like you could name one of any of those people. Like but
Kanye would be cool.
Kanye would be cool. Kanye has done a whole come around. Like he was cancelled, then he got uncancelled, then he is back not being cancelled. I don't know where he is, but he's kind of undeniably has a very special mind, right?
Yeah.
You would meet Kanye?
Yeah.
You know his songs?
Yes.
You do?
Yes, I
You
know
sing his songs?
That doesn't matter.
Okay.
All right, next question.
Anyway, Bridge, are you going to answer that about yourself or no?
Yeah.
I mean, I can. Should I?
Answer.
Yeah.
If I could meet one person right now, It would be a toss-up between Elon Musk and Jake Paul.
Jake Paul.
Jake Paul.
Just because both of them, just like how you're separating from the celebrity and what they've done, I don't care about the celebrity of Jake Paul or Elon Musk, but they're both very strong voices in their respective fields and have insanely good marketing strategies. Their marketing strategies are so unique and so like good. Like even though everyone hates Jake Paul, people still his stadiums still sell out. People still buy to see him box, right? People still watch his videos, even though they're commenting, "I hate you." It's still engagement, and he's still gonna get paid from it.
Yeah, I
His sponsor's gonna
respect
pay
that
from it.
so much too.
So
do,
just understanding how he deals with it, what his thought process is going into it for either Jake Paul or Elon Musk, because they're both very similar in that regard.
Yeah.
It's just something that I've always been curious about.
I definitely agree. Like hate is such a prerequisite for success, and if
Yeah.
you are able to
Yeah.
monetize it,
Exactly.
it's so spectacular.
I hate your mother.
What?
I mean, hate is a prerequisite for success, she said.
Okay.
I don't think that's
Alright.
what she meant.
All right.
All right.
Okay,
go.
next question.
Yeah.
In your own lives, what is the biggest challenge that you faced so far?
Ooh.
Oof.
No,
That's,
Wow.
How did we go
I feel like that went from very shallow to very deep.
Who wants
without,
to
like,
go?
letting
like
it
2
progress.
seconds, it went very deep.
I can no, I don't think it's that. Like I can deal. I can.
Okay, why don't you go
Yeah.
first?
Weight loss.
Weight loss.
100%. But it is my Achilles heel. It is my biggest battle that I just have not been able to win in 20 years. And I've tried it all. I know it all. And I can't say I've tried it all in earnest because I'm not saying I worked out, I did everything right. Why isn't it working? My battle is against why am I not determined enough to make it work? The motivation doesn't seem to be there. The consistency is not there. So I have no one to blame except myself. But why am I not committing to myself is my biggest battle, and I believe is a big journey for myself.
Mine is caring about what people think. For a long time, I was really silent on all my social media channels. I was very afraid to do this podcast, and so many of you guys write amazingly positive things, but I get afraid when people write negative things about me, and I actually read those messages, and I shouldn't take any stock in them, and I do, and I'm working actively on it. But I think the day that I think the big challenge of my life is going to be just completely shutting out what people think of me and moving in the world the way that I think makes sense.
In my case, it would be to try not to be so perfect all the time. You know, it's like,
You always have to like.
okay, just laziness. Fight laziness.
Yes.
Find
Yes.
myself
Yes.
lazy. You know, watching TV or on the phone or things of that nature, and sleeping. You know, I'm famous for being able to sleep 10 hours a night, like every day. You know, famous as in famous in my immediate circles, my family and so. I wish I could do better there.
Well, ask the question again just so we can refresh it.
What's one of the biggest or the biggest challenge you faced?
I don't know.
in
I don't really,
Well, you
like-
have a very early life.
Yeah,
so.
I don't really face any challenges. I guess like
I mean, there's a couple of challenges I could say you faced.
I guess
definitely.
2 could be my most annoying challenge I had to face was waking up early
Yeah.
for basketball season.
That is a challenge.
That's
yeah.
a challenge.
like
Can you explain it?
so I had to wake up at what was it 6:04. I set my alarm for the wrong time, so it was 6:14. It should have been 6:15, but that doesn't matter. So I woke up at 6:15. Like that was so annoying. Most annoying, like top 5 most annoying things I've ever had to do.
And when would you normally wake up?
7:30.
So it's an hour and 15 minutes earlier than
That's
what
a
you would
lot.
normally. That is a
Yeah.
challenge. Yeah.
That's a challenge.
I guess video games. I used to be very addicted to video games, a lot more than I am now.
That's been a challenge.
Yeah.
That's good.
No, that's
What
a
about you,
really
Bryn?
real challenge. For me, I guess one of my biggest challenges has been
Dealing with your own beauty.
I would say forcing myself into uncomfortable situations has been a challenge for me. Like trying to, I think it's important to go out there and really try to put yourself in uncomfortable situations just so you can learn how to handle yourself in uncomfortable situations. And for a large portion of my life, I just never did that. I never thought it was necessary. And I had a very fixed mindset of I don't want to try something if I know I can't do it. And I think that was a really big challenge for me.
Okay.
Okay.
Next question.
Okay, next question is a little bit later, and I know this is definitely gonna have a good answer. What's one book or movie that had a significant impact on you?
Okay.
Oh, I know exactly what I'm gonna
Wow. You know.
say. I know exactly.
Okay, why don't you
I
go?
forgot the name of the movie, which sounds crazy because it had such a big impact. You remember Didi? You remember the movie you made me watch? Like I literally cried when I actually cried.
Oh,
You remember?
Souls?
Souls, bro. That movie. That movie.
What
You
movie
watched
is
it too. We watched it
I
with
love a really good, emotionally dense Pixar movie. They do a lot of them, and recently
that? Oh,
they
is that the one
released.
that I just completely?
Yeah, you just started crying.
No, that's Up. He's
no,
talking
he
about Up.
cried in both. Actually.
Yeah, he did.
He cried during Soul too. Soul is about a black musician who's a jazz artist who basically goes through all these trials to become the artist that he does. And he actually ultimately, I can't remember. He also, it has a lot to do with death and like, you know,
Mourning.
the
There's a
and
lot.
mourning and grief and the afterworld. And I made everybody in my family watch it together. Dad left, Bridge fell asleep, Mom fell asleep, I cried, Veer cried.
So that's the moment.
And maybe I don't want to say that.
What was the impact it left you with?
Like sadness.
Yeah, you were very emotional after
Yeah.
that movie. I remember.
That movie was really sad.
I thought for me it was Murder in the First, the movie.
Oh my God, you stole mine.
No, you.
There's no way
Yeah,
you're gonna-
Kevin Bacon.
Kevin Bacon
oh my
at the
God.
end.
Oh my God, it's-
Sometimes
It
there's
was so
such
inspiring,
cute
that
moments.
film at the end when he stands in the court.
Wait, I don't know if you should spoil it.
Yeah, don't
I-
spoiler.
Yeah, but he didn't spoil it anyway because he's remembering it wrong.
No. At the courtroom, he stands and he says, "Every action has a reaction. Action,
Okay,
reaction."
okay, but don't spoil
And
it.
does
But
not, and knows that the jailer will ultimately kill him when he's sent back to the prison, but stands up for it anyway. And the jailer does kill him by taking him back, but he just does not die. He just does not let himself be killed before being killed.
yeah, Murder in the First
It's
was a
amazing.
really like
Really good movie.
Yeah, the book that had the most storytelling profound
I know what
impact.
it's
I think I know what
What?
you're gonna say, too.
No,
Is it gonna be Kevin Hart?
Kevin Hart
no,
is exactly what I was
no,
thinking.
no. You're wrong. It was a book called Cain and Abel by Jeffrey Archer, a British novelist. This is a book that a lot of people in India read. A lot of people read Jeffrey Archer's books in India. I also read them. This one book is a story of two best friends, and one becomes very rich and one becomes very poor, and the story of how their life evolves and all. And I've read it many, many times when I was young, and I used to be obsessed with the storytelling nature of it because it's a very big, long book that tracks the journey of these two people and the families that they became and how they needed each other at certain points in their time. And I remember back when I was maybe 10 or 12 thinking, one day maybe I could write something like this. And then I kind of put it out of my mind for decades. But I think about that book a lot because I do think that there were some indications that I knew how to write early on, and I just ignored every indication along the way because I kept thinking there must be a math gene inside me. I'm Indian.
That's what you're trying to do to Baya, right?
Yeah,
he
it is.
wasn't.
It literally is. That's
That
such
is
a good point.
lie.
That's literally-
Stop it. You're
That's
canceled.
a great point.
He is an A++ in math. What are you talking about? I got a
And
D
pre-med.
and pre-med.
Neither of
there
those
you
things
go.
are actually true. Actually, A++ in
Yeah, and
math.
math is true.
Who's got next? You who did?
Didi Goggles.
Yeah.
I know some books that you've read that
Yeah.
you've been really you always rave about books you read.
Yeah, I have a few great books. I think recently, there's two. Okay, I'm gonna do a book and a movie. All the short stories that Ted Chiang has ever written, I've been rereading them a lot recently. He does these sci-fi stories, and many of them touch on characters who have a lot of ambition and fall short. Due to the nature of how technology has moved too fast to enable a lot of people to succeed. And I find that to be really inspiring. I think you admire a lot of characters much for their faults and their inability to make it happen despite their best efforts. For some reason, that just really resonates with me. And then the second book that I think really has stuck with me is Mindy Kaling's Everybody's Hanging Out Without Me. Oh my God, that book just did so much for me growing up as like an Indian girl who had a lot of opinions and wasn't afraid to be super loud. Mindy Kaling talks a lot about writing all these plays in college that were so hit or miss. And people would like them and then not like them. And then her watching these movies with her parents and her mom specifically helped her continue to write these plays despite people's reactions, good or bad, to them. That book did a lot for me too.
I have two books actually. I didn't directly read either of them, but they were both read aloud books in elementary school. My first one in 4th grade was Count the Stars. It's a book. It's a book about World War II. Then this same artist too for the second book. It's called The Giver. We watched a movie about it, but the book is 10 times better than the movie.
Bridge?
I think for me, one of the movies that was there's a lot of movies that have had a big impact on me, and there's not really that many books because I don't really read as much as anyone else in my family. But one of the movies that had a big impact on me was Zindagi No Milegi Dobara. I don't know if I.
Oh
think
yeah,
I've-
Zindagi Na Milegi
That
Dobara.
book-
Milegi
that-
Dobara,
The movie.
Good.
I think that movie is so good. I've watched it maybe like 100 times. I've seen it so many times. It's a Bollywood movie, so actually a lot of you guys probably do. I was gonna say no one probably watched it, but a lot of them probably have
You can
watched
watch it with subtitles though.
Yeah, you can watch it with subtitles. Yeah, and the reason why it's had such a big impact on me is because it's just so. It's a constant reminder that you always have to make time in your life to be able to enjoy and celebrate like the amount of work you're doing, and you always have to make time to have fun. And I think that especially in our family, it's so much work. We're working for the next objective, working to get that internship, working to get a return offer, working to do well in your job, working to do well as a student in college, working to get a good GPA, working to get into a good high school. There's so much work, and it just the amount of work to the amount of time we spend celebrating it and having fun is just incomparable. There's 10 times more work. So I think it's a really good movie just to remind yourself that there are like moments where you should give maybe a week even that long, which seems insane to us, but maybe even a week just to have fun.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love that.
I do like that. Okay, next question.
Okay, next question. I'm only asking 2 more questions. This is the second to last question.
Okay.
Is I'm just entering college now. What's one piece of advice that you would give me entering college? Or what's one thing that you did in your college that you don't want me to do?
Okay.
I guess I'll go first. It's a marathon, not a sprint. I wouldn't be in a hurry to do anything, and take all the time to enjoy, to learn, to make friends, and not be in a hurry.
Okay. That's unexpected, but
Why?
because you now are the good cop and I have to be like, find a job. Did you see what he did there?
No, that was good advice though, especially because I've been trying. Recently, I've been very much trying to rush things, and I think that I do need to spend a lot more time slowing down.
Okay, how about you?
Fail a lot. I think college is an environment that is unlike any other.
Look, mom just gave me.
Because you are an early adult and you are an adult, but you're not an adult in the sense that things are urgent the way that dad is saying. You have the time and space to start as many businesses that don't work and make no sense right now. You have the opportunity to ask out a girl who will never know who you are. You have the opportunity to cold email a professor who's like the expert in their field. And I think it's also the best opportunity to make all of those mistakes firsthand and learn from them in an environment that will catch you. I think I did a lot of that. I think I came to college not knowing anything and kind of like this Indian daughter who hadn't done very much. And I took a lot of risks in my undergrad, and I'm really grateful that I did all those things.
What risks did you take?
I mean, I started a lot of things that just didn't work. Like, I tried to be friends with different people who are way different than me. Some that have panned out in friendships, some that have not. Like, I feel like I worked at a startup in a different country. Like, I've lived in 3 cities in the past 3 years and actually lived in them for 3 months, And I think those kinds of experiences really shape you in your early adulthood. So I think fail fast and fail often, and do it while also you can be honest with your parents and they're not going to be super judgmental of you.
Does that mean we don't get to judge him?
No, you do. I'm
Yeah.
just saying that I don't know.
Okay, anyway, being serious, I think, Bridge, my advice to you is that for the first 2 years, just have fun. I know you don't expect this advice from me, but the truth is that I have a lot of guilt towards you. I feel like you had it the hardest during the COVID years. Not only did COVID affect you, you guys started high school almost 2 years Zoom room with strangers. Then you had to take over taking care of your brother because I was gone so much. Your sister was gone. Your dad was working. We were all struggling really hard. And you bore the physical brunt of it. So believe it or not, I want you to just have fun for 2 years. Whatever you find fun, I would hope that you don't do things because you feel pressure to do that.
Yeah. And
Whatever it is
weed
that's
is
your
much better
idea
than
of
cocaine. I would not go after cocaine.
What?
What are you talking
That was so random. He doesn't
No.
do drugs. He does not smoke.
And I want to clarify
In
also,
his head, he's doing
like, taking risk and failing doesn't necessarily mean, like, I don't mean, like, do drugs. I don't mean any of that. I mean, like, take a really hard class and do badly in it if it
Yeah.
means that you might learn something from it. I agree with Mom. Like,
Yeah, and I think that's who you
that's
are.
just who you are.
Yeah.
So I just hope that within the context of who you are, you stay true to yourself and have fun within that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree with that.
Like I would feel sad if you ended up, in a rage or drunk, binging and all because you felt like you had to fit into somebody else's world.
Yeah.
If you actually were curious yourself, it would be a different conversation. But if you're like, if I don't do this, I won't be part of this friend group and all that.
Yeah.
But I just don't see you doing that. Like I
Yeah,
just
yeah.
don't see that in your personality. You get that from me. But yeah.
My piece of advice is to try not to fall behind physically in terms of your body and your diet. Because
wow. Veer, how do you come up with these, man? It's such an awesome advice to give.
I've learned like from Dee, that sounds so bad, but like I've learned from Dee from our calls when she first went to college that the diet is really hard. So just do your, like, I know you're a muscular person, so just do your best to stay in shape.
I love
Yeah.
that.
Which, and that's who he is too. How about, what's your goal for yourself as you answer this for yourself?
My goal is very similar to Dad's, just to like trust that it'll happen over time and not try to rush and get all my credits done or fit all my requirements and stress over what I'm going to major in and different stuff like that, just to take it slower.
Okay.
I love that.
Good. But take it slower is traditionally your weak spot. So just.
Okay.
Okay. Next question.
Okay, last question.
Last question.
If there's one thing that you could tell your younger self, one thing in the world, one piece of advice, one decision maybe you wish you didn't make, what would it be?
Oh my
This
God.
is kind of similar to the one that we just answered.
No, I don't think.
No? To my younger self.
I think I know what you're gonna say.
That's a good question.
I can go first.
Okay. You go.
I would say get back to work from being a stay-at-home mom as soon as possible. I had to be a stay-at-home mom for many years because my work visa does not allow me to work. But the first opportunity I got, I wish I had gotten back to work. I think I lost many, many years of my life. And not to say that I didn't like being a mom and didn't like being around you guys. And not at all. In fact, the opposite. It was great. It was wonderful. But I do have deep regrets for how many years of working I lost. And time is not your friend. It's not forgiving. There's no reversing it. So it would be, I guess for me, it would be that, and two, not let your body go. Both mistakes that are very, very hard to reverse.
I guess for me, it's more the second, that I wish I did not take my body for granted in my early working years.
Yeah.
You know, I just didn't pay attention to how little it takes to become unhealthy and then just take so many more years to come back to, I mean, I was having sugary drinks. I was having all kinds of things that I know was just poison today. To be fair, we didn't have as much social media-based information as we do today about these matters, but that's more an excuse because there were other ways to find out.
Okay, who wants to go? Veer, Zoya?
Working hard pays off. Like the grind, when you're like, like up all night, like studying for an exam, that like the grade, forget the outcome, like learning to love the grind from an early age, even if people think that you care too much or think you're a teacher's pet or think like, I don't know, growing up, everybody said everything, Zoya cares way too much, Zoya's too competitive, Zoya's like whatever. Like learning to like try to do excellent work in whatever you're doing, whether or not the outcome succeeds, just loving that process will pay off. It will carry through. Like I remember in middle school, people kept saying to me all the time, like, Zoya, this is middle school. Like, your grades don't matter. Like, college doesn't matter. Like, that's not on the horizon. Or like, oh, you're treating swimming so seriously. Like, you're swimming so many extra laps. Like, none of this matters right now. Like, you're not competitively swimming. Like, just wanting to be better, like that, like wanting to wake up at 6 a.m. Veer talked about like one of his challenges, wanting to actually get on time to basketball. Even if he doesn't become some NBA basketball player, that early love of the grind stays with you for a very long time. And it's the thing that I think differentiates a lot of my friends. Like, I have so many friends who played competitive sports and now still, like, for example, run in the morning when they wake up because that grind just stayed with them, even though the outcome wasn't necessarily that they're like some Olympic track athlete. So I think I would have said, like, it's okay that you like it and you should continue to try even if people think it's silly.
Okay.
good advice.
Bridge, what's your final thoughts for your own question?
Oh, Veer hasn't done yet.
No, I don't have any. I haven't thought of anything.
What?
What?
You're the deep thinker of the family.
I don't know. I feel like I haven't made like a mistake big enough or not a mistake. I just haven't.
You haven't had a regret big enough?
Yeah, I haven't had a regret big enough to the point where like I need to.
What about like not playing as much Fortnite?
Oh.
Well, like I don't know.
Okay, I get it.
Yeah, that's
Fine,
fair.
let's
You're
not
good.
push it.
Yeah.
Do you have a regret, Bridge?
I think, I mean, I have many regrets.
Really?
I have many regrets. Many regrets.
Yeah?
A lot of bad mistakes. A lot of stupid mistakes. A lot of mistakes. Idiot mistakes.
You want to name one? Or you?
I mean, I can name a couple, but sophomore year of my high school, I just did not take it seriously at all. I partied like pretty much every weekend. I just did not care that much. That was a mistake.
But that was the year you became out of COVID.
It was, but that's not an excuse. Like I didn't
I
have
agree.
to. Like I just chose to.
Right.
Didn't need to do it as much. That was a huge mistake. There was a lot of mistakes that I've made with girls. Just like which girl I was going after, just personality wise, just did not match up with mine. A lot of mistakes happened there. I think that honestly though, out of all the biggest regrets that I've made, there's two things that I regret. One I regret, but it wasn't practical, and one that I regret just because I just know I could have went harder. One of them was. And the end of my tackle football career, I wish I had went harder. I wish that end of my career, I made the most out of it because that was the last time I'd ever be able to play and just tried as hard as I could, did as well as I possibly could have, and just, I don't know, played harder. I feel like at the end, because I knew I wasn't going to play longer, I just kind of gave up and just didn't care about the sport as much. And I shouldn't have done that because I think I could have really done more and been a better player, even though I was already very good. And the other thing is I wish, even though practically I know it wouldn't have made sense because for money reasons and just availability, I wish that I had kept playing squash to like on the side or just played squash every now and then because I do think that I was really, really good at squash. And I think the squash is a feasible sport to play as you get older, especially in college and even as a business
But you can
sport.
still pick that up. You know, it's not like life is over.
No, I know it. It's still,
With
but I
respect
just
to
think that I had a really good trajectory in squash.
There are many people, even professional players, who start playing squash for the first time at your age.
No, yeah, I'm sure.
One thing that I learned from you, Bridge, which I think is related to your point, is that it's never too late to take something really seriously. Like, I think a lot of people have this perfectionism mindset where if it doesn't work on the first day or in the first week or in the first month, like, and, you know, they got a few bad grades or they got, like, it didn't come off to a great start or, like, the internship wasn't working in the beginning. So therefore, like, what's the point in even trying? Like, you're really good at just, like, picking it back up, you know, and like being like, okay, like maybe I remember freshman year at Stanford, I failed 3 classes, actually failed, like had to withdraw and had to retake those classes, which I did. And I'm on track to graduate. I like got rejected from many clubs. I got rejected by this like guy that I was super interested in. Like there was just so much that went wrong. And I called Bridge and I was like, Bridge, I want to withdraw from Stanford. Like, this is horrible. Like, I'm just actually like, I've lost it. Like anything that I was before, like, I'm just struggling so much. And he was like, Didi, like, it's been a year. Like, you have 3 more. Are you seriously going to quit now? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, that's ridiculous. You have all this time. If I were in your position, would you tell me to just like quit after 1 year? You still have so much time. And I feel like now entering my senior year, I'm so grateful for Stanford. I'm double majoring. I like have a job on campus. I have great friends. And if it weren't for Bridge and his advice to just pick things up and not worry about how you start and focus more on how you end things, I would have, I think, really regretted how I shaped my college
That's a great
experience.
piece of advice.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we know where it came from.
Oh my God.
Oh my god.
Anyway, we hope you've enjoyed this very special episode of Bridge Asks.
Yeah.
And as we wrap up every episode with a riveting round of good grades with Gargs, we're going to go through this episode and find out which Garg gives which other Garg a good grade. So are you with me yet? One of us is going to give one of us an A grade for a winning moment of the episode, and I can't wait to hear what it is. And then we can't wait to hear from you on who you think deserves a good grade. What are your answers to Bridget's questions? We're going to post the questions in the comment caption. You answer these questions for what that would be for you, and we would love to hear. We read all the comments, just so you guys know. So who wants to give the first A grade?
I'm ready.
Okay.
I want to give my A grade to Bridge. That piece of advice he gave me totally shaped the last 4 years of my life.
Okay.
I'm gonna give my A grade to Dad because honestly, the advice you gave me about college, like, I think I needed to hear that.
All right, great. I will give my A grade to Bridge for coming up with these great questions and to hosting this amazing episode.
Okay. Veer, you have?
I don't know.
You don't know? I'm going to give my A grade to Veer because he's like, I don't have any regrets deep enough to comment on it. And I think that that's very
It is,
honest, and it's
yeah.
totally fine. It's totally fine to be happy and to actually be content in where you are in life. How refreshing. Thank you, God.
Thank you.
And as per usual, I did not get an A grade from anybody, but we all know that this grading system
I'll
is
give my A grade to you.
Thank you. Thank you.
But it was forced.
No,
He
it
was-
was
that
not.
was
He,
a
in
little
fact,
pressured.
It came straight out of his heart. We all saw it. We all saw it. Thank you so much for tuning in. We can't wait to hear your answers to Bridget's questions, and we can't wait to hear who gets the A grade from you. Until next time, bye.
Bye.
Bye.